Good afternoon. You're watching Businessworld Live here on One News. I'm Jes Delos Santos. Let's take a look at how the local bourse closed today, Monday. And what a recovery for the index today. It's been on the upside from the get-go, but a last-minute bargain hunting pushed it higher by 2.8% to 6,446. That's a reversal of its worst slump that we saw on Friday, down 3.5% after it was announced that ECQ will be implemented in the National Capital Region starting August 6th. Now, Christina Ulang of First Metro Investments in our broadcast this morning said the markets now really is not for the faint-hearted because it's no longer just about the fundamentals, as there are now risks due to the stop-go cycle when it comes to restrictions, especially with concerns over the spreadability of the Delta variant. But she's confident that we have ample room for policy support so that the economy remains on the growth path. She says it's better to do the lockdowns now during Ghost Month, as this is a historically weak period for the market, and then a recovery might ensue around September or Christmas during the fourth quarter. Now, looking at our leaders and laggards, you have two Gokongwei firms here, at least leading the pack. URC rebounding from a steep 4.4% loss on Friday. Recall that the food manufacturer reported a 43% increase in its second quarter profit. URC, at least for today, gained 6.6% to 135 pesos a share. Now, its parent JG Summit not far behind with a 5.4% increase. But another Gokongwei unit, RRHI, not enjoying the same fate here, declining by 3.8%. But let's move on over here from the Gokongwei firms. Let's go take a look at the C's here, starting off with SM Prime with better figures for the April to June period. I'm talking about second quarter net income coming in at 5.2 billion pesos, more than double its 2.1 billion peso outing in 2020. That pushed first half net income higher by 12% to 11.6 billion pesos. Consolidated revenue for the first half of the year, however, still down 6% to 41.1 billion pesos. It's a residential business, though, that really helped bolster those positive numbers after it posted a 3% increase in revenue to 24.5 billion pesos for the first half. But looking at second quarter figures, its small business registered a 55% increase in revenue to 4.8 billion pesos. But again, these numbers came in after session closed. But still, SM Prime had a good run today, rising by 2.7% to 32 pesos and 30 centavos a piece. Let's see how their second quarter report will push shares or will affect movement at least on Tuesday. And lastly, let's take a look at BDO, which, as we reported this morning, posted an 11 billion peso profit in second quarter compared to that 4.5 billion peso loss from last year. That brought first half income to 21.4 billion pesos. Second quarter provision for losses also lower compared to 2020 at 3.85 billion pesos. Now, the stronger performance for the period is due to strong sustainable earnings stream and normalized provisions for the lender. BDO capped off the day higher by 4.4% to 106 pesos and 50 centavos apiece. Here are other headlines we're keeping our eyes on. Local factories continue to see growth in July, although reimposed lockdowns due to the Delta variant tempered their progress. Survey from IHS Markit reported Purchasing Managers Index in July at 50.4, slightly lower than the 50.8 recorded in June. This means manufacturing output is still in expansion mode, but with a bit of a slowdown, with both demand and production levels affected by the pandemic. IHS Markit says international demand was able to offset the decline in local demand. The British survey firm says a faster vaccine rollout proves to be a bright spot for companies to pump up greater domestic demand in the coming months. Now, quarantine passes will once again be required in Metro Manila once the enhanced community quarantine takes effect on Friday. The Interior Department says it's coordinating with Metro Manila mayors in implementing the policy. Curfew hours in the capital region were also adjusted, now at 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Those with confirmed vaccination schedules are classified as authorized persons outside their residences and may proceed with their schedule as normal. Metro Manila mayors are considering extending vaccination hours to accommodate more people. The government has already approved a maximum 4,000 peso cash aid per household, depending on the number of qualified members in areas under ECQ. Presidential advisor for entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion tells One News's agenda that it's best to have the lockdown now done now than later when cases are already uncontrollable. Okay, I have supermarkets and groceries stock up on goods as the NCR ECQ nears. Let's find out from the Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association. We have their president, Stephen Kua, on the show. Good afternoon, Sir Stephen.
Good afternoon. Hi. Yeah.
All right, sir. So first, what's the situation like on the ground for supermarkets? Have you at least noticed cases of panic buying, or has there been an increase in customers over the weekend?
For some stores, they probably experienced some panic buying, but for most stores, what they experienced was I would call enhanced community buying, which means additional buying, but not like before where there was a frenzy and people just wanted to grab whatever they could over the shelves of the supermarkets.
So this time around, you'd say that reaction is more tempered compared to what we had last year.
Most definitely, because people are now aware what COVID-19 is, and a lot of people have been vaccinated too. So there's less scare. No? Unlike before, it was really not. What am I? What am I fighting with? No, I mean you don't know. You don't understand COVID-19. No, right now people are more aware. Less buying of disinfectant and alcohol. Of course, there still is, but there's fatigue already. So money is placed on the bet is placed on food on the table.
So it's mostly food now compared to last year, wherein there was at least a rush for you have sanitation items like alcohols and tissue. Question is your current stock enough to at least support an anticipated influx of shoppers, or are you still expecting an increase in shoppers over the coming days leading up to August 6th?
It depends. Now, if stores will have empty shelves, people will be afraid. That'll create some, fear that they will, be running out of items to buy. So stores members have been informed that they have to make sure that they have enough stocks and that they have to replenish soon enough, and they have to order already so that when the lockdown is on this Friday, there will be food, there'll be stocks on the shelves for the next 2 weeks at least.
Mm-hmm. Now, also, you have based on our experience last year, ECQ sort of presented a logistical nightmare due to border controls. Are you expecting the same, and how are you preparing for such a scenario this time?
I think LGUs have learned their lesson from last year, wherein the whole economy was probably not moving. No, what I'd like to see is that there should be public transport. Number one, for employees and for people who will be going out to buy essential goods. No? I think people learned their lesson and scared of what's happening in the countries around us, wherein there's a surge. No, and these are the more disciplined countries. No, take note. So I guess there should be public transport so people could go to work and not just play around in the malls now and then have fun in the malls now. So I think that's one lesson the LGUs have to learn, and also the checkpoints. Yeah, quarantine passes will probably be required. Some LGUs have already stated that there's already a liquor ban starting today, and again curfew hours have been cut in some LGUs in Metro Manila. I guess they've learned the lesson not to stop everything totally. Life doesn't stop with the lockdowns. Yeah.
Okay. So again, what would your strategy be now, at least among supermarkets coming into the reimposition of ECQ? Will there be changes at least as to how you're going to do business now with this new set of rules under the new ECQ compared to what you had last year?
Well, number one, distancing should still be in effect. Okay. Next is probably limiting the number of items sold if the store warrants it. Okay, that's a company policy. It's not an ordinance. It's not a law. It's the law of supply and demand. Okay, if you see that someone is or some smaller retail outlet is finishing off your items so that they can make a killing in their store, then you'll probably have to limit, para a lot ng households makinabang.
Mm-hmm. Sir, what do you think are these goods most likely going to be, at least where you're going to at least impose limits?
Okay, these should be meals which are very easy and quick to serve. No, we're talking about instant noodles. We're talking canned goods, matagal lang, expiration dates. No, we're talking about biscuits and cookies. And ang nakakatakot lang is if foundations and churches and community pantries start wiping off all the items on the shelves because they want to help people, yun lang. No? Kasi hindi na household yun eh. Maramihan na pang bumili nun.
So pag ganun, sir, may consideration at least.
That's
May
right. So we
leeway
probably
ba
have to
kayo
limit.
provide?
We probably have to limit those items na alam namin mauubusan because there should, they can never be enough no kapag people buy more than twice what they normally need. Yeah.
Now, question, when it comes to your workers, how's the vaccination going so far?
For
Mga
some of our
supermarket
stores, yes, sorry. For some of member stores in Metro Manila, 80 close to 90% have already been vaccinated. Buti naman, no? But those outside Metro Manila, marami pang hindi na umpisahan kasi mga LGUs doon hindi pa nag-umpisang mag-take action, no? Or wala pang vaccine, no, in their areas.
Mhm. Now, lastly, before we let you go, the last time we talked, you did mention there was a bit of a problem with smaller groceries and supermarkets, especially when it comes to supply. How are you guys doing at this moment, especially when it comes to income?
It's the same thing, no? Of course, if you are a big manufacturer or distributor, you would first want to serve the bigger stores to make sure that they don't run out of your items, no? This is mas malaki market nila. And as such, the medium-sized to smaller stores will not be a priority for these suppliers, no? Given the limited time, 1 week is very short. Even if a store has around 400, 500, 600 suppliers, you cannot 24 hours will not be enough to accommodate all these trucks and all these deliveries, right? So the suppliers will probably choose the bigger clients, no? Para isang baksakan, isang truck will be just isang bagsak in one outlet or one commissary or one central distribution point. Yeah, central distribution warehouse.
But at least you had no reported closures, at least over this period, at least in the first half of 2021.
Sorry, reported shortage. Is that what you're saying?
Closure, sir.
Closures for stores?
Mhm.
Meron, but very limited naman. Everybody's trying to hold on. It's very challenging, even for food outlets, now for food retail outlets, now. But everybody's trying to hold on. Christmas is around the corner, which is why you mentioned that they want to probably do this lockdown way before Christmas, but hoping that by quarter, pwedeng makabawi tayo ng konti.
Again, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Philippine Amalgamated Supermarkets Association President, Sir Stephen Kuan. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
And those are the biggest stories this trading day, August 2, 2021. Catch Businessworld Live again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. for the market open and 3:15 p.m. for the market close. I'm Jes Delos Santos. We are One News. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines.